order. Please rise for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the village board meeting of June 9th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Gary.
Here.
Smith. Here. Kraus.
Here.
Beecher.
Here.
Stacy.
Here.
Gardner.
Here.
In your packet, you have minutes for the last meeting of May 27th. Does anyone have any changes? If not, can we have a motion to approve?
Motion.
There's a motion on the floor and apparently a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Terry.
Yes.
Smith. Yes. Kraus.
Yes.
Beecher.
Yes.
Stacy.
Yes.
Gardner.
Yes.
Does anyone from the audience wish to address the board?
Well, I just have my neighbors asked me to come up here. There's concern about the building going on Caroline and Beecher.
Okay.
I've been into construction for a long time, I've just never seen anything. If that's gonna be a house, there's been no stake survey, lumber's been delivered, rebar's been delivered, drain tile's been delivered, but there's no whole foundation. So my concern is this gonna be a house, or is this gonna be a party barn, or what's it gonna be?
What are we talking about?
The house in Orchard in Caroline, yeah. So they have, so plans have been submitted, and I'm gonna turn it over to our village administrator, because she's the one that's been dealing with the plans, et cetera,
Yeah,
so.
plans have been submitted and approved. It is a home. It's got brick on all sides. It meets all the regulations of the village.
And the guy is a contractor?
He's generally the home,
Okay.
so, yeah.
All right, so,
But we have
again,
inspectors which will come out and
everybody's
inspect
concern
everything.
was the way it's being moved forward with. You know, like I said, I've generated 3 or 4 houses myself. I've been in new construction for almost 40 years. I just never seen a building process go in that order. So,
Like, can you, I don't know how to build a house. Like, what do you say the process isn't going in the right order? Like, can you?
well, you have to
explain?
stake the property out to dig your foundation.
Okay, so you're saying
Then
there's
you
no
have to
survey
dig your
done?
foundation and put your footings in, and put your,
And none of this has been done?
no, and he's
Not
got
yet.
lumber out there, he's got rebar out there, he's got drain tile out there. He was out there in the rain last Wednesday, because I was picking up permits, and he was out there with a can of spray paint and rope, kinda surveying himself. I don't know how straight that would be. My eye's pretty good, but again, that's just not the process. So, all the neighbors are concerned, so, I mean.
Safe Built will be doing with the stake inspections and things like that and keeping an eye on it. So.
Okay, well, I live on the block, so I'll be watching it every day.
Sounds good.
So, that's perfect.
Yep.
I live there also, at the end of that block, and I thought he built a gazebo up the other day and then took it down.
Well, that's because his permit wasn't approved yet, so.
Well, he started to because he wanted a location temporary to be able to store stuff that's probably sitting out there
And
now.
then again, if he's throwing up a shed that stores equipment, I mean, I always bring my equipment with me on a daily basis, and most contractors do. But if he's building a storage facility to store his equipment, he still needs a slab or something. You're just gonna build it on the grass.
Yeah,
And
which
then-
is why it's not there.
And then when he builds it, is it coming down afterwards? Because there was a covenant.
Actually, I was in the covenants, he can't have one up there, so.
Exactly. Well, the covenant's kind of fallen by the wayside. I've lived there 30 years. There was a no fence covenant. There's 2 big 6-foot PVC fences. I agree with the one, which is my neighbor, because he's got 6 dogs, which I do believe that's against code, right? I mean, you're allowed 3, I think.
3, he's got 6 dogs, what else is this having?
2, 2, 2, 1.
Let me clarify that, he went to court, I think the village took him to court, they are comfort dogs. So
Oh, you're talking about,
Judge said he's allowed to have them.
And I'd rather the fence than the 6 dogs coming in my backyard, because 2 of them are mastiffs, one's a German Shepherd. The three little yappers, the chihuahuas, that's okay, but still.
But I question
It's an
that.
eyesore?
I question that, and
Yeah,
he's got court approval to have it.
okay. Well,
Just so you know.
and again, you got 6 dogs, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, you want me to get rid of 3 of them, well, it's like get 3 of your kids. I'm a dog person, so but still, it's an eyesore. It's an eyesore.
Well, as I said, feel free, if you have any concerns along the way, to reach out.
I appreciate that. I'll try not to be too much of a pain in the backside.
I'm here for it.
You live on Miller? You live on Miller or Orchard?
George, I'm Jim's roofing.
Oh, that's right. You just got a hat on.
Yeah, I know, or sunglasses,
Yeah, one
exactly.
of the two, yeah.
I was trying to fly under the radar.
Okay, anybody else in the audience have
Let me know
any?
you want help.
All right, village clerk's report.
The total tax income received in the month of May is $396,394.77. Real estate taxes are coming in again. I wanted to remind the board to decide key plans on riding in the 4th of July parade, and where they want to get their golf carts, when you guys are going to meet up here to decorate the cart before the parade, because we have all the decorations here, and then I can order some candy before that. So please let us know.
Probably follow Plan A. Will you be driving the cart again? Will you be driving Miss Daisy? Alrighty, under my report, and I forwarded a letter to all of the trustees from a resident. This resident came to the village board, I don't know, probably last fall, to apprise us of his next door neighbor. There is an ongoing issue between these two houses. The neighbor that came in is extremely frustrated. It's been 9 years of living next door to this house. His neighbor's dogs do their duty on a wooden deck and have been doing this for 9 years. The deck, you can't get the smell out of it anymore. It smells up the neighborhood. At one point, there was a pool with a ladder, and it backs up to the elementary school, so kids could get in there and get into the pool. That was taken care of, but there is general disarray in the yard. It's not just not lawn being mowed, but there's critters that run into other yards. I think there was a trailer in the driveway, and that is now gone. But this resident has been, and the next door neighbor is extremely concerned and says he's come to us over and over and over again and nothing happens. It actually does. There has been ticketing, fining, he's been taken to court. Apparently the fines go unpaid and the whole thing kind of starts over again. Do you wanna?
Sure. So today David drafted a letter for me and I walked it over to him. I gave it to the resident, told him the situation, and he never denied it. And I mean, I'm sure David Harrison's here too. He could tell you that every time we address something, I could actually pass them out to each of you, show them what we did. And I went today. He's always very cordial and always said yes. He told me he's gonna have his 2 sons come and do it. But the bottom line is, I called the health department. They do not do home visits anymore. Will County Health Department does not do home inspections anymore. So I think our last alternative is to speak with Tim Kuiper. What is our rights now as a village? I mean, I'll pass these out. These are what we did over the last. Nice to meet you, Jessica, Terry.
Happy to meet you, there's your problem.
Is he disabled, chief?
What's that?
Is the homeowner disabled?
He told me he had a stroke recently, but I don't think it was recently. Right, David? It was a while ago.
Yeah, back in December, I believe, but he's got kids, I mean, he's got adult kids.
I'm just wondering, like, does Washington Township do anything for like disabled people, or would they, would anybody?
You mean like
reach out to the
help him or
township?
something?
Yeah, like help to try and clean up the
thing is,
backyard.
he doesn't say he's not gonna do it, he just doesn't do anything. And that's sort of an issue. He's, like I say, he's a cordial guy to talk to him, he acknowledges he has an issue. On my own, with no no one asking me, I did call Homewood today and asked if they would donate one, and they said that the best they could do is charge us $250 for one.
For a dumpster.
And I don't know that that's a good precedent for the village for, that we would set. If it was free, maybe it'd be good, but
But he does, I mean, he gets around, he, you know, tinkers around in the yard and, you know, it's,
David, do you have anything to add?
I'd like to get the place cleaned up, that's all I'd like to do. Yeah, I mean, he, again, like Chief said, he agrees with everything we've talked to him about, he just doesn't do anything.
Well,
and I mean, the next door neighbor has had to put up a privacy fence, but it doesn't help with the smell in the summertime. And from what I hear, you can smell it all the way down the block. The deck itself is probably not retrievable, it's been soaked through so many times, there's no way you're going to clean that up. I know the neighbor who is very upset is, you know, saying that he wants us to tear the deck down and do all kinds of things. We're not able to do any of that. I mean, we can't just go onto somebody's property and start ripping a deck off of their house, or, you know, there's no way we can do that. We can't even really go on his property and do cleanup on his behalf, nor I don't think would we want to, because he's not gonna do anything about it, and then, you know, we're not gonna be his private company that cleans up.
6 months is, 6 months a year is gonna be the exact same issue.
Yep,
So-
exactly.
You know, we have received complaints about the house, and not just from the neighbors there, but from parents of students of the grade school. They drive right by it every day and look into the backyard. So, you know, I don't know what else to do. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't know what else we could do. How many tickets you get? 25 tickets. The last thing we had was feces on the back porch. We brought him to adjudication court. And remember, adjudication's all about solving a problem, not finding people. And the adjudicator gave him 3 months. I'm gonna have you come back in 3 months, and he had the complainant come back. And the person did clean everything up in the 3 months, but now recently, I think it's back, right?
Oh, yeah, there's
There's
feces on the deck again.
I think there's little kids sometimes too, the grandkids
There's
live there, and
grandkids
they're running
in
through
the
it.
house, 2 of them.
Yeah,
There's a dilapidated shed, there's a pool that's not used, the garage looks like it needs a major repair, weeds all over, junk on the side of everything. I wouldn't wanna live next door, I don't blame the person for complaining.
so I know, you know, if fines are unpaid, you can lien the property, but that doesn't do anything unless the house gets sold someday, you get your money back, but,
I was hoping that we could get some legal advice on what we can do, because I've never encountered this in my entire career where a person's cooperative, it just doesn't do anything.
yeah, well, I don't know if that's cooperative, but basically,
I
they're,
would say he's cordial.
they're cordially refusing to,
Well, I actually I talked with Tim, and really, like, the only next step would be to try to take it to court, get an injunction, but I mean, it's a messy process.
Take it to circuit court.
So would you have to give a state fine and then take it to court, or are you talking like us filing a suit against? Is that what he's talking about?
The way I understood it was more like filing a suit, but I would have to verify the actual terminology.
And then, I guess to what end? Like,
Well,
I guess as a board, we're gonna figure out like what the goal is.
well, and that's the thing, if it gets fixed, it's gonna probably happen again, and you're gonna be right back in that same spot again.
Well, looking at this history, I'm not really worried about getting fixed. I mean, this goes back to 2019 just here.
and I think at one point, they were made to get rid of their dogs,
Yeah.
perhaps.
'Cause they had 3 at one point, right?
yeah.
Two or three. big
But then
dogs.
and it got cleaned up, and then, you know, there's more dogs, so. So just to apprise you, I don't know that anybody's gonna be able to come up with a solution for this tonight, but, you know, we're talking to the attorney to see what we can do. Within what we're able to do legally, we've done everything we can, and we will continue to do that. As far as a solution, yeah,
Well, he's got June 28th was the get done date, or the hammer falls, something. Give him 3 weeks. he had 45 days to do something. I've got pictures from April 15th, I took pictures again today. A couple of things got taken out of the backyard, but in general, nothing's been cleaned up. And the weeds are a foot high in the backyard again.
Alrighty, but I did wanna bring it up, I said this resident sent a letter and he copied a couple of the trustees, so I did wanna make sure everybody's aware of it, and, I mean, if anybody can think of anything, we'll do everything we can at our end to try to do something about this, but, we're kind of pursuing it to the full extent of the law as we are allowed to, so.
I mean, I think up to this point, we've done everything we know we legally can, now it's gonna depend on what the attorney says.
Yeah.
Well, my fear is we take them to circuit court and the judge gives them 3 months to clean it up again, and you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you start
Back
over,
to
yeah.
square one.
Yeah. Yep, so. Alrighty, if there is, did we get the commission ordinance in here?
And it's,
Okay.
I did not put it in there, because I didn't think we were voting on it, I thought you just wanted
Okay.
to ask.
Yeah, so, and actually, some of it, so, the changes to all the village commissions are minor. It's just a terminology change of having the trustee act as a liaison as opposed to a non-voting member. Or a voting member, the only thing that was a question was police commission. And, I know we met as a committee to discuss that. Since the trustee can no longer be a voting member of the police commission, we had started out having 5 members on the police commission. So we had the chief, village administrator, the trustee, who can't be on there anymore, and then 2 members of the community. So we debated about, and I think the committee decided that it might be a good idea to just have 3 members. 1 member of the public, and then the chief and the village administrator. Because any trustee basically can sit in on a commission meeting, and yes, if it goes into closed session, a trustee can sit in on closed session because you're elected officials. So that's with any committee meeting. Any trustee is able to sit in on those if they want. They just can't vote. They're supposed to kind of be quiet, not say anything. So I think that was the recommendation from the committee to just go with 3 members on it. So as long as nobody has any objections, I mean, does anyone have any other thoughts? And we don't have to vote on anything tonight, but we would just direct the attorney, because he came back with the police commission and he put 5 members, but then he only listed 4. So it was like, okay, well, that won't work anyway, so we've gotta send it back and give him the proper number and the configuration, so.
I guess my only concern is, I just wanna be clear, this is not directed at anyone that's currently on staff. When I think about this stuff, I think about the future. Basically, if you have the chief and the village administrator, we have a boss and a subordinate. And if there's a contention, you have a department head and someone who's the head of the department heads, and then 1 independent. So, I guess that'd be my only concern. And sort of the reason we went to a commission in the first place is because the old way, which I get has changed, including some backgrounds and other stuff, was they'd sit down with the chief, they'd sit down with the village administrator, and then you were just hired. So, it's not like that now. This wouldn't send that back to that process. But that would be my biggest concern, is something like that. Then you have 2 staff members and 1 person from the public. If you wanna go that route, I would suggest doing 3 members of the public to sort of even it out. But that's just, my opinion.
Would you do like 2 members of the board and the village administrator? Or the chief? I mean, why do we need 3
But
members?
board members can't,
No, I know,
Yeah.
not a board member, but
So you're saying 2 commissioners and
2 commissioners, cause I mean, 5 people is a lot, and trying to get 5 people in for interviews and trying to get everybody in here can be difficult at times.
I think the odd numbers for voting purposes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, you still have 3, so you have 3, you still have an odd number.
But I'm saying 5. If you said 4, I don't have a problem with 4, but.
Get two, no, that was an error that the attorneys drafted up. 2 members of the public,
Oh,
and
you're
then
saying-
either the administrator or the chief.
2 appointed members of public and 1
On
staff
the
member.
board, yeah.
so you're saying either the chief or the village administrator?
I mean,
The
I'm
third?
just up for discussion, that's
Yeah.
all, I'm just,
Yeah, I mean, you could just do 2 members and then a village representative, that way if one of them wants to come in or one of them can't, I mean. Yeah,
So the chief and or the village administrator.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you guys don't wanna do 5, then I think that'd be.
Yeah, I mean, 5 was always a little bit excessive, I mean, for towns, most towns have 3, even bigger towns. And then for us at our size, having 5, it's a lot of bodies.
The reason it's 5 is most other municipalities, if I understand, don't have the staff on there. It's all appointed separate
Yeah, that's
commissioners,
what I
right?
was just saying.
Yes.
And I don't have a problem with
Chief, not
this.
the administrator, it's all.
Yeah, it's all just,
I don't have a
yeah.
problem with this staff member.
And
because
no,
it's
and no
different.
uniforms.
Yeah.
That's why we said the village administrator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think it is good to have an eyeball from someone who's doing the day-to-day stuff in there. Because they know sort of how reality works. So yeah, I don't mind having.
Like village administrator
Yeah.
and then 2 members of the public. What do you think, committee? Let's think it over.
We'll think it over,
Look
I mean,
yeah,
it's
let's
only
think it
for
over.
discussion.
Yeah, exactly, and I mean, this doesn't have to be changed, you know, today or tomorrow, it's just, it's gonna come up, so, you know, we can kick that around too. Alrighty, that is the end of my committee report. Finance and Administration, Trustee Kraus.
Thank you. Treasurer's report, Don?
Sure. The May month end for the village accounts, $4,497,407.95. The May month end for the commission accounts, $211,202.75. The two combined, $4,708,610.70. The May month end for general, $1,019,443.18. The May commission non-AP payments totaled $623,115.75. Most of it completely normal. There were the 2 bond payments, one for the PD at 106, almost 107,000, and the wastewater treatment plant, 201,000. But other than that, normal stuff. And if no one has any questions, that would end my report.
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's reports.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call.
Gardner,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Diachenko,
Yes.
Kraus,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
And variance reports for the previous month are enclosed for your review. I'd like to make a motion approving the list of bills and payroll in the amount of $104,129.17.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second?
There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call.
Terry,
Yes.
Smith. Yes. Kraus.
Yes.
Diachenko,
Yes.
Stacy.
Yes.
Gardner.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Okey-doke. Public Buildings and Properties, Parks and Recreation Committee, Trustee Diachenko.
Thank you. Real quick, just like to comment about concert in the park on Saturday. Had a decent sized turnout. The weather was great up until the last song when it started to rain. But otherwise, the weather was good. The band was great. Everyone I talked to said they really enjoyed the evening. They really enjoyed the music. I'd like to thank Coach John Kouros and the soccer program for providing the people to cook in the kitchen. They did burgers and dogs. Turned out really well. But yeah, overall I think it was a great night. Looking forward to the next ones coming up. Other thing I've got here is, did you want to comment, Charity, on the?
Yeah.
Okay, but
Between Matt and I, we'll
Yeah.
give a little update on the police department.
gotcha.
Let's see, paving was just completed yesterday, Matt? Was it?
Paving was completed on Friday, striping was completed today.
Okay, I think there was something.
It's really nice.
It was, it turned out good.
Yeah, and I think, there were just maybe a few, aside from the concrete floor in the garage, but, just a few other like punch list things, I know the community room door, they were having issues with, did that get fixed?
Not yet. Joseph was out this morning to look at that and some other issues. They're gonna come out later this week to tackle some of those minor issues that are still outstanding. And then we have a possible issue with the roof. Stay tuned for that. We were up in the attic this morning and on Friday, and there's broken screws that are holding the decking boards down, so it's making portions of the roof heave, if you will. So Joseph, the construction contractor, as well as the roofer, were both on site today and waiting for a solution to that issue.
Are we not close to a opening date?
No,
No.
definitely not.
I'm having people ask too, when are you gonna do that? It's like, soon.
Yeah, the garage floor seems like we've come to a resolution on that. That's gonna be, their JMA is gonna put 2 drains in the rear portion of the garage where the water is standing, and then they're gonna epoxy the entire floor. So, it should be nice when they're done with it, so.
And with that, that concludes my report.
All right. Planning, building and zoning, trustee Stacy.
Thank you, Mayor. The building department's monthly report has been closed for your review, and June 26th is the next scheduled meeting at 7:05 at Village Hall. And that's all I have.
Okey dokey. Public Safety Committee, trustee Terry.
Thank you, Mayor. Real quick, I just want to go back. Is it industrial epoxy?
Yes.
I just want to make sure it's not.
Yeah,
the
it's not any
pipe down
garage
from
floor, no, it's not Rust-Oleum something, no. No, it'll be, you've been in the,
What kind of flakes? Just ask,
yeah,
love to see it when it's.
yeah, definitely.
The police department's monthly report was enclosed for every review. Chief, is there anything you'd like to add?
I'd just like to say the building is beautiful. It's just absolutely better than I ever expected. I mean, I thank all of you, I thank the village residents that voted for it, even the ones that didn't, because we got it anyway, but it's absolutely beautiful, and I really believe that there's room for expansion to it if the village gets bigger. You know, we had to downsize a little bit, because, you know, we got the estimates, but it really turned out really, really nice. I mean, I'm really happy, and each of our young officers should approach each of you and say thanks for doing this. It's just, for us, it's gonna be great for recruiting, great for retention, great for getting the community to the police station for a good reason, not a bad reason. And just for the record, our community room is available to any non-for-profit community group that wants to use it. Just call station and they'll write it down in the calendar. If it's not used that day, you can use it. But it absolutely looks beautiful. And just in case you ever wanted to use it as a board meeting venue, it's all set up for that.
And actually, when you were talking, it reminded me too, one other update with the building, the fence is getting
Oh,
installed,
yeah,
right?
that's what I was just gonna say, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The week of June 23rd.
Yeah.
And we are gonna have a gate, right, at the back?
Yep.
So that Officer Hanson suggested we do a fishing derby with kids, cops and, what do they call it, Joe?
Cops and bobbers.
Cops and bobbers. We're gonna do cops and bobbers there, and we got the gate now, so we can put, you know, have a nice little thing and have any kids that come out that want to teach them how to fish. Now, I've never fished in my life, not once, so it won't be me. But we'll have some people there that know how to fish.
Maybe they could teach you how to fish too.
I don't think so.
Thank you, Chief. The EMA monthly report is enclosed for everybody's review. Director Heim, anything like that?
Yes, we're gonna show a quick, thing on, request form for Beecher, EMA. So I'm gonna turn it over to Deputy Director Murray, and he's gonna bring it up on the TV.
There. All right, so Bob talked about recently that we've had, trying to streamline either community organizations, school districts, whoever that's looking for traffic control for EMA. So the village owns this product in their office suite called Forms. And I built this online form for anybody in the community that wishes to go on, and they can fill out the form, and it'll then email me and Bob, the request. So this is what the form looks like website-wise. There'll be a link we'll put on the EMA page, you can put it on the village website, we can put it on the police department. You can give it out to anybody who wants it. They fill out the form, and it will then generate over to, sorry, far away from me. Gives us responses. Right now it's only one for me testing, but it'll let us know how many people responded, who responded. We can then reach out to them and let them know if yes, we'll be able to do it, no, we won't be able to do it. It's available again 24 hours a day. I'm sorry. I can see. Oh, that one's not on.
Yeah, I don't know why that one turned off.
You guys need to know the size of the event?
Well, it'll be on there, so it'll ask us for, if you look at that sheet, it should say the event, the date. There's a spot towards the bottom that'll indicate any additional information, you know, the time of the event, the date of the event, the length of the event. Got my glasses, I still can't see it. Yeah, the location of the event, any additional information that they're gonna have on there. And again, they'll have their email address, so if we need to reach out, thank you. If we need to reach out to them, me and Bob can. I just wanted to show you what it looks like. It's available on, again, the website, and this is what a mobile will look like. So you can put this on your iPhone, you can put it on your iPad if you wanna reach out and fill it out. It formats for the two different
And that's on
devices.
the village website, you said?
It can be on the village website, yep, it'll be on the village's Facebook page, EMA, wherever you wanna put it. Obviously, it's definitely gonna be on the EMA page, and then I'm hoping the village will put it on their page on the section, so we can advertise, this is where we need to go. We're asking 10 days in advance, for most organizations, they usually know an event 10 days in advance, to give me and Bob the time to determine if it's something that we can give them traffic control for. The school events may not be 10 days, but we're still gonna ask that they know, at least fill out the form, so that way we can both be notified if we need to. And if we need to pass it along to the fire department, we can, so they're aware if there's any events like the parades that they need to be involved in. Questions at all?
So you guys, when you guys get it, you get this information emailed to you,
Mhm.
and then once you guys get it, so right now it's just currently going to you and Bob.
Right now.
Once you guys approve it, can it be emailed to the command staff at the police department, so this way they can post it?
We can send them notification of it. These forms only allow the initial, so they would get an initial response that someone's requested it, and that would be it. It sort of does like a spreadsheet that lets us know all the people who've
Right.
requested anything, is all it really does.
We were just saying have them send it out to the PD, so they.
Yeah, once it's been approved.
Yeah, I mean, we can send an email out to the chief and the command staff, say, hey, we've approved traffic control for this event on this date and time.
Thanks.
Good,
Thanks,
thanks.
Dale.
Very nice.
That's it for us.
Alright, thank you. And the code enforcement monthly report is also enclosed. I would like to add one thing that's not on there, but on June 18th, it's a Wednesday, we're going to be running the torch run for Illinois Special Olympics. And then we'll be meeting, I think, at 10:30.
10:30 at
the CVS. And so it's open invite if anybody wants to come and run with us. We'll be running, we'll say from CVS to the old police station.
Very slow.
We used to go to the church, but I don't know, we'll see.
Far.
We'll see how far.
Will we be having something
And then afterwards, we'll be having some hot dogs and hamburgers at the new police station for the people that participate. Okay?
You said that's the 18th?
The 18th, yeah. The time is,
I can't run that far.
you know, it's 10:30 is when we're meeting up, but we probably may not start the run until 11.
And you,
So,
and you come on your
most people
bicycle,
gotta
come on a
stretch.
bike, whatever you wanna, I would say probably not a scooter, no.
No motorized vehicles.
Because that would be, I sent an email out to all of you today about, you know, all that, so that would be technically against the law.
Yeah,
Unless you have turn signals, brake lights.
and that's,
Oh, I can ride my golf cart.
that's my report, Mayor.
Alrighty. Public Works Committee, trustee Gardner.
Thank you. Water Department monthly report for March and April are enclosed. Wastewater treatment plant monthly report for April is enclosed. Consider a motion approving a purchase from Lane Christensen Company for additional repair work at well house number 5 in the amount of $23,920. This additional repair work includes scarification and chlorination of the steel casing. Additionally, the pitless spool will be replaced as it was found to have a hole from corrosion. Superintendent Connor, could you offer some insight into what was found when they televised that well pipe?
Yeah, what are these, is that the pictures in here?
Yeah, some of them are, yeah. As you can see in some of those pictures, there's a buildup of iron and deposit calcium on the inside of the pipe that they want to take basically a bit and run it down the outside or the inside of the pipe to scarify the walls. And when they do that, they'll need to chlorinate coming back up, so obviously, so we don't, cause bacteria or anything like that once the well house does come back online. The pitless spool, it's welded in place. The corrosion attached to the weld where the weld actually weakens the metal. So the corrosion actually started eating away at the weld that was done previously when the pipe was originally put in 2007.
I will make a motion approving the well work.
For 23,920?
Yep.
All right, there's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call.
Gardner,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Diachenko,
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Consider a motion approving a proposal from Cora Maine for replacement of the check valve inside well house number 5. The amount will be provided at the meeting. The check valve is not functioning properly and needs to be replaced. Water from the distribution system is making its way back into the well house and down the shaft. That is for $16,842.
No,
Oh.
just the top number.
Oh, the top one.
Yep. Those are three options,
Yeah.
the 3430. Yep.
There's a, yeah, so there's a motion on the floor, and that's for the 3430.
Yes.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call.
Terry.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
Diachenko.
Yes.
Stacy.
Yes.
Gardner.
Yes. All right, consider a motion approving a proposal from Core and Maine for replacement of the master meter inside well house number 5 in the amount of $8,550.59. The master meter is 18 years old, and the Public Works Committee made the recommendation to replace the meter while the well house is down. I will make a motion approving that replacement for $8,550.59.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call.
Gardner.
Yes.
Stacy.
Yes.
Diachenko.
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
Smith. Yes. Terry.
Yes.
And discussion on canceling brush collection on Tuesday, July 1st, due to the need for Public Works in Fireman's Park preparing for the festival opening day on the 2nd.
Yep, do what you gotta do, yeah.
And then we will need to go into closed session for the purpose of personnel.
Okay, and we'll do that a little later.
And that concludes my report.
All right. Economic Development Community Relations Committee, trustee Smith.
Thank you. So we held our meeting on June 5th. We discussed a few topics. The first one we discussed was the wayfinding sign. President Meyer went around to all the, businesses in the TIF district, and distributed applications for them, for their decals for the sign. And then, the plan is for them to go in the order in which we receive the application, correct?
How many spots are on there, how many business do we have? Was it 10?
There's 10 spots. There's actually 11 sort of dealing with the public businesses down there, but one of them did not want a spot on the sign anyway. There are some others like the funeral parlor and, you know, the storage place that don't usually rely on walk-in trade. So the rest of the 10 that are down there all want a space.
And then also, we discussed, using, like applications for TIF funding. So Charity had obtained, some examples of, applications for people that are interested in using that. And, kind of came up with our own, but I think it's still kind of in the works, not 100%
I spoke with
ready
Tim
for
today,
everybody.
so,
Yeah, so.
It'll be ready next meeting.
Yeah, so that's in the works, and then also the BYOB liquor license, we discussed the need for those for like temporary permission for events being hosted for different businesses. But again, we kind of need more information on where we're going with that, so, in the works.
And then the one item we forgot to, so
Yes.
we'll be meeting again.
Yes, so we didn't talk about food trucks, and we will talk about food trucks in the future. And then that would conclude my report.
Alrighty, any old business to come before the board? Alright, would someone make a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel and, I don't know what you call it for land, pardon? Sale of property, yes.
Make that motion.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Siri,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
DeChambeau,
Yes.
Stacy.
Yep.
Gardner.
Yes.